What if I told you that a knight about to ride into a bloody fight would sometimes eat not a feast of meat and wine, but a hard biscuit, salted fish, even entrails boiled into soup? The truth is stranger than you'd expect. In this video, I'll take you behind the shield and into the kitchens of medieval camps, showing you exactly what knights ate before battle, and how that diet could decide life or death. Stay with me. At 6:42 I'll share the one power food they swore by, and by 8:30 you'll see how their menu unveiled a secret about their society you never guessed. Before swords clashed and banners were raised, armies had to eat. The phrase "an army marches on its stomach" was true in the Middle Ages. Supplying food was as critical as forging weapons. But for knights, elites often far from home, encamped in strange lands, food choice, preservation, and ritual took on extra meaning. The bedrock of medieval diets was bread and porridge. Cereals like oats, barley, rye, and later wheat formed the daily staple. On campaign, they often carried hardtack-like biscuits, dense, twice-baked, dry, long-lasting. These could survive travel and be rehydrated into soups or stews. Before battle, a knight might eat a piece of bread dipped in broth, basic, but it gave calories without too much heaviness. Fresh meat was prized, beef, pork, lamb, game, but in the field, it was often salted, smoked or dried to preserve it. One source notes that soldiers could be allotted 400 g salted or smoked meat per day during intense campaigns. However, not every knight feasted before a fight. Some orders, like the Templars, limited meat consumption to a few days per week. On fast days or when resources were scarce, they turned to fish, especially in Christian contexts with meat abstinence, or legumes. To stretch their rations, medieval cooks boiled bones, organs, tails, and offal into hearty soups and stews. These nose-to-tail strategies extracted every calorie possible. One account mentions that in desperate times, soldiers even used entrails and tails for porridge. These dishes were easier to digest and transported well. Before a battle, a light broth or gruel might be preferred. Heavy meats could slow a knight. While knights had access to more variety than peasants, the same reliance on plants held. Beans, peas, onions, leeks, and root vegetables featured regularly. Preservation mattered. Smoking, salting, drying, pickling ensured vegetables and fruits were available during long campaigns. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, and nuts also provided compact energy and sweetness, especially valued in noble diets. Water was risky. Contaminated water could lead to disease. Knights often drank ale, weak beer, or cheap wine. One source states that all food was washed down with beer or cheap wine. Wine also served as disinfectant, sometimes diluted and used for cleaning wounds or utensils. Fun fact, a knight might consume a modest ration of wine before battle, enough to calm nerves, but not enough to impair performance. Food before battle wasn't just about fuel, it had symbolic weight. Many knights fasted, prayed, or abstained before combat. The knightly orders often had prescribed diets and rules. For instance, the Templars ate meat only 3 days a week. On the morning of battle, portions would be small, digestible, with emphasis on soups and light proteins, not a heavy feast that might slow agility. The most trusted pre-battle boost was salted meat plus bread plus broth, a trifecta that combined protein, carbs, and hydration to sustain energy without belly ragging. Many regiments used this mix as their go-to rather than elaborate feasts. The food a knight ate before battle mirrors ideas of status, logistics, and belief. Status, spice imports, sugar, exotic ingredients often showed wealth. Logistics, the reliance on preserved food shows how armies had to function far from home. Religion and fasting, diet rules and abstinence reveal how faith shaped even martial practices. This isn't just nutrition, it's a window into medieval life. Myth, knights feasted lavishly before battle. Reality, they ate practical, portable, energy-sustaining meals. Myth, no vegetables, only meat. Reality, vegetables, legumes, and grains were vital. Myth, wine made them drunk in battle. Reality, wine was used carefully, often watered or moderate. In truth, the pre-battle diet was disciplined, strategic, and essential. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the medieval kitchen of war, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, if you were a knight, what would you choose for your pre-battle meal? Until next time, may your history appetite always stay hungry.